We are back. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna be consistent. I said I'd be consistent. I, that's what I'm gonna do. As you can see by the title of the video, we're here with the Kagurabachi video. This man just cannot miss. And you know what the crazy part is? This is the crazy part. Why is my thing not sent? It doesn't matter. This is the crazy part. If we're talking about the way that this man portrays his villains in the story. Even the villain we have now, the paper dude who's the same age as Chihiro. I feel like I keep mispronouncing his name. We're just going with Rokuhiro for now. We just it's so good. It's so good and it feels so refreshing. And I always say that things feel refreshing. And to be fair, there are a couple things that do feel refreshing. Kagurabachi is one of them. Sakamoto Days, Don to Don, Go Go Loser Ranger, uh, Chojin X is up there. Chainsaw Man is, yeah. Mission Yozakura. There's so many things that feel refreshing, but the leading three for me that have really pushed an envelope, in my opinion, it's Kagurabachi. It's Don to Don. It's Ranger Reject slash Go Go Loser Ranger, whatever version you prefer to call it. They are doing some good stuff. And the thing is, for Kagurabachi, there's something about grounding your story yet using magical aspects. For example, if you take things that are like, for I'll use Naruto for example. When you take something like Conan, who can do all these big major moves as a paper with her paper jutsu, but you take someone like the guy we have now in Kagurabachi who uses it on a complex but small scale, it makes it seem more significant. When Conan popped that ginormous paper tandem bomb on Obito, that was hard. That was hard. I can't lie, but anything prior to that and literally nothing after that, nothing like stood out for what could have been, I feel like, the portrayal of the ability of controlling paper. I mean, Chojin X has done a good job of making paper manipulation look menacing. And I think Kagurabachi's starting to hit the same spot, especially when it comes to mentality, the philosophy of villains. And it's crazy because this man is sadistic, and he's probably not even the only one. He's probably one of many who have this sadistic philosophical mindset that Roki here is going to actually have to step with. He's gonna have to put some moves on him, and we learn so much more with the Tetsuki going on and people basically becoming enchanted blades all the way around. It's like the one thing his father didn't want to do. And it's like the story keeps making it so much better. At every turn, we're learning more things that the main character has to get over as a hurdle, as the sins of the father, or the hero who's trying to do the best that he can. There's so many overlapping storylines and creativity that Kagurabachi does, and to say the least, I love it. And with the first volume coming out in November, y'all know that bookshelf. Oh, wrong side. That bookshelf right. Ooh, uncoordinated. That bookshelf right over there. Let me just do it like this. Yeah, there we go. That bookshelf right over here. It's going in that bookshelf. It's going in there immediately. I don't know why I could not coordinate which hand was my which, and that was insane. Ignore that. We're gonna move on. But it's doing something great, and every time we get a new character introduced, it doesn't feel, of course, there are tropes that make the characters gravitate towards us, whether it's mysterious, whether it's cool, edgy, whatever the case may be. But there's something about how they're drawn, how the action is choreographed, how the characters are written, even how they move, how they act, how they fight. The one that we just saw, I forgot what his name is already, even though he just got here. The glasses, the blind one, he moves insane. He's hard. And it's just like, I don't want to glaze it, but it gets so much better the more I read it. And the first 50 chapters is like, all right, we got something here. And I think the author knows that too, because he's building. He's building from the ground up, in such a way that's like opening the doors for anything in the future. We don't even know how many members of the hierarchy of the Hisaku are. We just know we have one right now. We know two of right now. We know three. We know how many bearers there are when it comes to the swords. But at the same time, knowing how many bearers there are makes sense because we already know how many swords there are. And so getting excited to know those things or being excited to know who's at the top of the Hishaku is like, it's crazy. And we only get more in depth at that. And the one thing I want to happen is, in some ways, I want the world building of Kagurabachi to expand the way Naruto should have expanded. When we learned about all the different villages and the different villains and everyone else, I wish Naruto had took that approach of, instead of now we get everyone, do one village at a time and make them significant and make them special. And I think that's what Kagurabachi's on the route of doing, is taking groups of people and just making them significant. Even if you don't know specifically who they are, their name, their ability, it's just about their significance and who we've gotten so far. Sojo. Um Ooh, the name eludes me. The family that we just, the Sazazimi family? Sazanami family? The family who just had the storehouse, even though they weren't necessarily Hishaku members, the guy who actually was an Hishaku member when they were trying to get into the storehouse, the guy now. It's there's so many people that they leave such a good impression with the limited exposure we have to them, and that takes, in my opinion, that takes skill. It takes skill to concoct villains, heroes, characters in general that no matter what team they're on breathes excitement. It makes it interesting. They're not so, even if they're black and white, even if it's cliche, even if it's edgy, for some reason it's easily digestible and it's believable and you want to keep reading. And I wish I knew how he's able to do it to such a degree, because he's one of, again, the few that have been able to encapsulate an aspect of storytelling when it comes to manga the way that not many other people I have seen so far, let me add that, do in the same way. Even with the way that Chainsaw Man encapsulates stories, characters, and parallels, JJK parallels. No, I don't want to talk about JJK. Mm, but back to Kagurabachi. It's just, I look forward to the chapters every time they come out. And it's the power system. It's not even as like concrete as cursed energy manipulation, where there's reverse curse technique, there's curse techniques, there's positive energy, negative energy, there's binding vows. Like, for some reason, not knowing how the system and like works on every single level makes it so much more enjoyable in this context, because it opens up for variety. And then later down the road, he can iron out the details of what the system is and why things work the way that they did. It's a perfect way to concoct your power system if you haven't figured it out yet, or if you're still working with it. And then that's writing. That's peak. I can't take that from him. But I need us to keep reading Kagurabachi. I'm not trying to glaze it. I'm not trying to, say it's the best thing since touch grass, but it is doing something for me. Pause. But it is doing something for me. It's enjoyable. It's nice to read. That's all I gotta say about Kagurabachi. And also, last thing, Azuha. Is that how you pronounce his name? I'm really looking forward to how he wields the sword. I'm looking forward to how all the bearers wield the sword, because every sword in Kagurabachi has a theme. I believe with Chihiro's sword is goldfish. I think with Cloud Gouger it was, what was it? I think it might have been birds. It's either birds, clouds. I can't remember. It was either birds, clouds, or something of that nature. With the sword, the Shisui was insects, and then every sword has a domain or a dominion of some type of animal, or not belief system, but a matter of, that's the best word I can use, is domain. insects, life, rebirth, goldfish, and water, whatever the case may be, cloud gougers, storms, clouds, all of that jazz. Birds, if that I really don't think it is birds. I think I might have made that one up. But regardless, you get the point. It's just there's so many things, and we're able to look at what we're given, take it, and understand the system without being given paragraphs of how the system works. And that's such a digestible way to do it. And it works for now. And it works. So I'm gonna keep reading Kagurabachi. New volumes coming out. So well, not new volume. The first volume comes out in November. So until November and even after that, y'all gonna start seeing these Kagurabachi videos start going up in frequency, and you're gonna see me pull out that physical volume. I'm gonna pull it out. Pause. Because I have to. There's no reason for me to have that in my possession and not do that. But y'all be easy. Take care.